All right, sorry, Zoom. Good morning, guys. Yep. All right, you guys excited? Happy Tuesday. Lots going on, lots coming at you guys, and a lot of new faces in the room. So everybody who's maybe new to telematics, new to the company, welcome. Introduce you guys in a little bit. You don't get mad at me if I don't remember your names completely, because that's what happens, right? So we're gonna start with some shout outs, some good things that have happened in the last week. Who has a shout out to share?
I just want to give a quick shout out to Justin and his team that did a quick pre-approval on the weekend. And Jason immediately responded, was on it, reaching out to the client. So you're just so quick, amazing. And wrong.
All right, thank you, anybody else?
Shout out to Elsie and Diana for making it back to
What was the highlight?
We got this like, yeah.
I feel like Elsie would be able to that then.
you want to push this couple, but they're like, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I said, vacation week for sure. My shout out is the same. Having been on back. That's how we have it. That's not, it's friendly, Elsie, in those back. Exactly gone, right? That's just back.
The office where.
Oh, yeah, this is pretty cool, guys. So we got this award last for 2022. We for total commissions earned. We got a platinum award for the entire region. So we got this pretty cool award. So we wanted to chat about it. So give yourself a round of applause. Don't hold me on it. What's the threshold for the platinum award? It's a lot, but I don't know like that.
I don't remember for the regional level. It's not individuals, but it's a lot.
It's millions. But let's just go with 15 million. Anyway, acknowledgement of Warriors is hard work, right? Like the last year was the first year that we kind of felt the interest rate push. So the market kind of shrunk down, for a lot of us, but we still did really well on pushing through. So testament to all your guys' hard work, and like in the middle of the year, June, pivoting and being able to still figure out a way to find business and do good things. So, all right, any other shots? What are you doing? Shout out to Alina in the room, right? Absolutely, you're back, right? Awesome. All right, we'll get moving on. Next slide. All right, morning motivation. Our quote is 80% of success is showing up. Just a tidbit on this. I won't read this, but it is true, right? In this business, no one's holding you to hours. No one's giving you benefits. No one's going to wake you up out of bed. No one's going to get you, get you going, get you motivated, right? So 80% is showing up and knowing what we're going to do every single day, right? And having a plan. So the question I was asking myself at the end of the day, right, is how did you show up that day? It's sometimes just showing up is just physical. No, it's like so 80% is showing up, and then 90% of showing up is mental in motivation, right? So ask yourself at the end of each day, like, how did you show up mentally, emotionally, socially? Do you have integrity, right? Like, it's a lot of pressure sometimes in this business. So being able to come in, wholeheartedly and say, hey, look, I gave my all today. Do that check and do that audit, right? Because that's what actually is going to build you momentum up in this business. When we talk about lead generation and recharging our batteries all the time, things like that, it does get tiring, right? But the people that are in the business right now are doing the things that others don't want to do consistently when no one's looking, when things get hard, right? I'm gonna tell you guys that you guys are just beasts, right? All you guys. So continue to show up with all this. We have a ton of stuff. Real quick before I introduce Sean. We have a ton of stuff coming up right now, like our Ignite series, a few trainings, things like that. So that quote is very adamant right now, right? Show up to that and come with learning base, come with your, with blank canvas, right, for these things, and make sure that you're implementing things you learn. All right, so our breakfast today is brought by Sean Perfect with First American. Give it up for. Got 4 pets in our house right now.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I was helping Rick clean little like 2-bedroom house in
old smarts with my daughter to like having 2 kittens that like terrorize us, and my sister's terriers that magically got out the other day, and my neighbor's Ring camera caught me flying across the lawn, landing on my face, trying to catch them. It's like, oh, that's all. Yeah, I got them. Oh my gosh. If I didn't catch it, my sister would have flown home from the not joking. Okay, so I didn't have a litter on your desk, but I did put these out for you guys, just to remind you guys to utilize me for, our marketing material. We do have open house feedback flyers. These are flyers that you guys can use at your open houses when you guys are meeting people. You guys can ask the people walking around, just use these, you can put them onto a clipboard, you can be like, hey, give me a paper and just, you know, let the sellers know. It gives them feedback, it gives sellers feedback on perfect feel, first impressions. Then it also captures the buyers maybe information here for you guys. So it kind of goes both ways. It's gonna give your sellers some information that they're gonna love, and then you guys. So I'm gonna leave these here. If you do want more, let me know. I can give you more. There's also a way to co-brand these with your information. So if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know. I can walk you through co-branding this. It's free of charge. And then second, I brought these seasonal maintenance guides. People like these. These are something that you can use in your door knocking. I know that a lot of buyers like this. It just kind of reminds them, they become a refresher of things to look for, wiping down window seals. You know, decluttering parts of your home. It's seasonal also. So it kind of goes hand in hand when you're door knocking. It's something to talk about. So that's that. And then really, I just want to put in your ear, we are having some changes with First American. I get called almost every day. Sean, can I have your new brochure? Because we haven't raised our prices since 2020. So a lot of my competitors have been raising their prices. I just want to remind you guys, we're going to be doing the same as well. But not only that, but with the slight price increase, there are going to be some other added bonuses, like we are going to be covering termites now. Subterranean termites is going to be something that's covered under a warranty, which is never before, I've never seen that. So I'm really excited that hasn't kicked in yet, but I just want to put that in your ear that we are having some really great changes to home warranty with First American. And I can't wait to have that in my hand to be able to talk to you guys more about it. And that's it. Thank you for having me, and happy Tuesday.
Guys, give Sean a chance. He's amazing, above and beyond, and hopefully practice speaking, right? Hopefully they're doing that. Sean, God bless you. Hopefully you can handle this work. I don't even know. So, all right, new listings. We have David Shorts on Park Street in Torrance. I think this is a relist. 2-bed, 1-bath, 728 square feet, asking about 1,099,000. Congrats, David. Stacy is aware amongst her. We're having in person. 4-bed, 2.5 bath, listed at just below 800, or sorry, just below 799. Next. Rocio and Michelle, they got one in Claremont, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,060 square feet, asking 949, 999, 950. And I think this one, if I can remember, Rocio or Michelle? No, I think this one was from a expired phone call. So expired work. You do it. Inspired or physical, one of the two, right? Raymond Lau, this is a beauty on Stone Canyon in LA. I think it's in the Bel Air, right? Bel Air community, 5 beds, 7 baths, 5,299 square feet, asking 448. And I don't know if Raymond's on the Zoom. If he is, Raymond, raise your hand and tell us a little bit about this. If not, we'll just go to Josh. Josh has been there. 3, 2, 1. All right, you there? So Josh, what's going on with this one? It's a rehab, right?
Yeah, so Raymond did a lot of work to the interior, they actually like completely updated the interior. They did like mold remediation, there was property, and they completely like cleared all of that out and updated it. They did a really fantastic job. There's a lot of beauty in that light, it's very spacious. My favorite is the upstairs bedroom. It has the most amount of natural light, it's so warm. The wallpaper that just matches the interior so well in the exterior. But yeah, you guys have time to look, it's really neat, and it's a very nice community.
Absolutely. 448, not a bad price point, right? Okay, thank you. Susan Jung, Brad Drive in Culver City. It's been listed for a couple weeks, 2 beds, 1 bath, 744, listed at $1,245,000. So again, Culver City for Susan. And then James Abdel Malik, back from vacation, back from the cruise. Full facts. Is this one still available, James?
Yeah, it's, we got off of it, this was like 100,000 below, so we started one go for it. So it's still in line, yeah, it's 4 units, new construction. Built 2022, annual estimated rental income is 288,000. Net operating income 264, also estimated cap rate is 6.5% and gross multiplier 13.8. So it has low operating expenses, but it's no construction and it's has and also the Airbnb, it's active Airbnb as well. Because it has like 16 bedrooms and 16 bathrooms. There's 4 units, each 4 unit is a townhome with 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Very nice. All right.
Commission gives 2.5%, so not like other listing agents get 3%, so bringing a buyer gets 100%.
Very nice. All right, congrats on that. So that's sold. Very cool. Deaso has a, looks like a, commercial property. Commercial and land, okay, so it looks like commercial and a lot next to it. Andrews Drive in Victorville asking 680, so in Victorville, way up north. Anybody know where Victorville is? I do. Familiar? Okay, congrats, Dee. All right, closing April 18th, so 2 weeks. Sun Lee on Bayside for 700, Judy Gao, Twins Boulevard, 1.6, nice. Andrew Flores, 247, 851, 750. Duty on Susan Drive, or PV. I think that's actually Suwana Drive. It's okay. Suwana Drive, 168. Ryan Saguski, Hillcrest Manor for 3.5, nice price point. Laura Rico and Nancy on Island in Wilmington. Nice, Laura. And Nancy and Pedro from Zoom. It's one of their first closings with us, right? Their second fire. Awesome. Susan Jung on White Avenue, Compton, 657. Sunlee Creekside, 780. Cindy Carter, everybody, for 600 on Grand Avenue. That's Cindy. Elizabeth Seha, 85th Street in LA, 965. 2 for Brianna, 1 in Hemet, 1 in Lancaster for just over $1 million. Right around $1 million. Right, Crystal U, Ruland Avenue, Redondo Beach, 2459, Josephine off Shire Oaks Drive, 2.37, and Daniel Smith on Atlantic Avenue, Highland Park, 635. So total close production of just over 16 million to. All right, so I'm gonna test the real math here. Who can tell me what's 2.5% of 16 million? Got it. For every 4, I know, for every 4 million, it's 100K, 4.5, 400,000. Yeah, right. Every 4 million would be 100K. Ask me how I know that, right? I can like, math is not like my strongest thing, but I can take. Yeah, 3.5%, anything. All right, so needs wants, anything coming up, you guys want to share? No? Zoom, anything coming up? Side note, we've done a ton of transactions in this room, just sharing things that are coming up. Buyer needs, anything else? Coming up, and here she is, Lord, I need something.
I really need something in Torrance School District up to 1.3, and then it must be 1.3. Yes.
Okay.
And that's the reason.
Is that house or town?
House, so either
House.
house, but they don't.
Good. You guys want something out here right now? All right, Jen, that you're gonna talk about that problem.
Around 2.5.
Okay.
North Parts near Artesia and Prairie, near 4-5. Price is 100 square feet. Listed price will be like below 1.3, the high 1.2. Yeah, it's 2,600 square feet, 5 bedroom, 3 bed.
Good. All right. Sounds oddly similar. So very cool. Anybody else? Going once, Zoom, going once, going twice. All right. So this is exciting, guys. Thinking about that when.
Do you have any fixer on things that you want to sell?
Fixer uppers. Okay, all right, we're gonna talk about that too, actually, coming up, because it should be good. So, anybody here ever a new agent? We have an exciting new lineup, and the people that have been joining our office, and just wanted to acknowledge them real quick. So, it's an exciting time. I want to do this to make sure that you guys know who else is coming in, how we can help support them. Want you guys to build a relationship with them and make them feel welcome. You know, as part of our culture here at KWPV, is making sure that we have, you know, the new blood that's going to be successful and getting the production quick. So we have Melanie Perry who joined. We have Ali who's in the room right here, Buzzing. We have Catherine Lynn right here, who's in the room too, who just joined. Maria Leva, she couldn't make it, but she's amazing. And we also have Kevin. Let's see, Destiny. Yes. Yes. I haven't met Destiny in person yet. There we go.
Is that okay to ask every person to stand up for a second and say a few things about yourself, so we can kind of remember who you are? Is that okay?
I was gonna do it, but if you guys comfortable, it's okay.
I'm Destiny Smith. I'm Daniel Smith's sister. I just had a baby, 7 months old. I work at AAA for car insurance. I have my license back since 2016. I practiced for like 2 years and I kind of like didn't anymore for a while, so I'm getting back to it. I just signed up.
Welcome. Next meeting.
Not any experience as a student, so this is why I'm currently a student at Oxford University as well. So I don't know how much experience I have, much experience, but I'm not going to be there.
Well, I'm over to add, she's started a real estate club at Northeastern too. You know, her family's been in business and has a portfolio, so she's been exposed to property management and everything her whole life, right? So she's got a really good head start there. So thank you, Catherine, and then we'll go to Kevin.
Sure, all right.
Morning.
Morning, all right, my name is Kevin, I'm originally from New Jersey. I've been living here maybe like 2 years, but I'm very ambitious, you know, high expectations, and I know it's gonna be a little hard at first, but definitely want to put in the time, effort, get the classes, and I think there's a lot of other people in this room that I've definitely talked to already, and I just hope to make a career.
Two books, one of them just came out. Participant of Toastmasters International. And I have a runner. Thank you.
Thank you for all you guys joining us, and congrats on taking that next step. I do want to acknowledge one more person who is kind of in that process, her name is Nikki Lynn. So Nikki, you want to stand up and introduce yourself as well? It's okay, you will be today.
I was the youngest. And then I really studied in the art of the but I stopped because I children. I could be a mom, you know, do some, you know, experience some other businesses. And after that, I'm trying to get back again this town. I'm kind of new in the town, but forget how it is like. Next. Any questions, please share. Everything is networking. I'm just studying, so you guys know. But that's what I'm saying here. But the environment. And I think when Korean, English, I have a accent as people in that. Doing a lot of like.
And he's humble, but she has experience in like all different asset classes. She sold commercial buildings down at Koreatown, big commercial buildings in LA. And it is actively selling future new development in Korea as
Yes.
well. So we're excited to have her here. And she's going to bring a ton of value to everything. So yes, some of it. Well, all right. So then, afterwards, you get to be for a while, introduce yourselves, talk to them about your experiences, what to expect. You know, when you're starting out in business, it kind of can look different for everybody. And I remember my first day, oh my gosh, like there's so much coming at me. It's not that bad. Elegance breaks it down for you, makes it easy to understand. So excited to have all you guys in taking this next step in your journey, in your careers, and let's get you to that first 100K ASAP, right? All right. So with that being said, welcome everybody. We have Alicia, woman of many talents. Give it up.
Morning, Zoom. Just want to say hello, happy May. We've had a great couple of months with you guys, so thank you so much for the support. Again, if you weren't here last week or not on Zoom last week, just want to remind you that we have her on and we do your escrow officer Amelia. If you haven't got to meet her yet, please stop by after the meeting and say hello. She's wonderful. You guys are going to love her, and we're really excited to be working together as a team to bring you even higher level of service. So, if you ever have any questions, stop by. One thing I wanted to talk about with escrow today is about possession. So we talked about like getting paid quickly last time we met, and that's possession and getting paid are like the two biggest questions that come into play at the end of an escrow. And I feel like they can sometimes make or break that sweet feeling at the end. So it's all in the preparation and making sure that your client knows what to expect. I can't tell you how many times the seller has asked me, well, when will I get my money? Well, we're closing, don't I get my money? Like now my agent's asking me for my keys, but I don't have my money. Like I don't get the keys. You just make sure you're setting up your sellers to know that on the day of reporting, that is when the ownership does transfer over to the new buyer. And they may not receive their proceeds until 24 business hours later, especially if they're getting a wire transfer, because there are those wires involved. So prepare them to receive money within 24 business hours of closing. That being said, if we close on a Friday, they're not getting money until maybe Monday. We're always going to do as fast as possible. There are some things outside of our control. Federal wire cutoff times may come into play. Okay, so make sure you set them up for that. The other thing is possession. Buyers will call us and be like, well, don't you have my keys? Like, I heard you reported it. And they're even asking escrow over keys. We don't handle keys in escrow. That's your job. You guys do have fun, you know, go take pictures, celebrate, pop a bottle of champagne. But make sure that you're aware as the seller's agent and buyer's agent of what you've agreed to in the contract. So on page 2, there's an item about possession, right? It does say that the possession takes place upon the notice of reporting. That means if I get notice of reporting right now, technically the buyer gets possession. But what if you have a seller who still needs to move out? Like this can become an issue, it can become an argument. Again, lack of expectation. So have these conversations with the other agent in the transaction in the beginning. Make sure everyone's on the same page. If you have a seller that you know needs to move, you know, counter that, because what is hard to put it in there is upon notice of reservation. There are some other options on the contract when you're writing it for your buyer. I can bet you that most buyer's agents are going to leave it to the default. So you as a seller's agent, listing agent, need to make sure that you're reviewing that when you're accepting offers and writing offers. Make sure your seller has an amount of time to move out, or that they're getting over the fees amount of time they're comfortable with. And if it's going to go beyond the day of closing at 6 p.m., make sure you're writing the appropriate events. Any questions?
So you notice when it's not happening in escrow, even close or
It's when the county tells the title company that they process the document. They literally recorded it, given the granting an instrument number. And that can happen at any time of the day. For some of the more seasoned real estate agents, you can remember when there used to be places in line for reporting. Title companies would line up 1 through 16, have the recorders physically, and all the documents are recorded. It doesn't really happen that way anymore. Files are electronically now submitted to the county for recording, so they can happen at any time of the day.
I mean, and last week I got a recording confirmation at 8:50 in the morning. And then sometimes I get them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So see, there's a big variance of when that actually happened. So I just wanted to bring some awareness over taking when you're selling. We get those people.
We included that in the case of like 24 hours within recording or something like that.
So yes, we can always do that. So as of 6 p.m. on the day of closing, that is acceptable. Otherwise, after that, you need to include an okay.
So it's the end of the day.
The day of, as long as possession can happen on the same day of recording, otherwise you need a seller in possession and then they're going to go on here. Any other questions? Well, thank you guys for sharing this time with me. I look forward to opening all of your escrows really soon. Seems like you guys are going to be busy. So I'm here for you. Well, can you bring it up? I'll give you a bit of this. No. If I put my MCA hat on really quick, again, we always want to talk about getting you guys paid as quickly as possible. One of the questions that comes up a lot is about getting your commissions wired or ACH into your bank account. So we cannot authorize an outside escrow company to wire money into your account or ACH into your. So the funds all have to come to the brokerage first, and then we disperse them here. That being said, we do have what's called a CDA. Who knows what a CDA is? Anybody? Cindy, what's a CDA? Yep, it translates to Commission Disbursement Authorization. So when I'm emailing that over to you, it is for your review to make sure that everything looks correct and that all the numbers are accurate. I can definitely previously submitted again, but at least a week, maybe at least a few days prior to your closing, so we have time to communicate and that we can get you paid quickly. But if you send that to escrow and they break down the checks based on that CDA document, and they come here, we cannot ACH your account. So if I receive a check from the escrow company and it says Josh Gonzalez on it, I'm gonna have to just hand him that check. So if you guys want ACH to your account, we can do that as your brokerage to help you get the money a little bit quicker, no holds on the checks. They'll have the money the next business day. But just make sure that you're not sending the CDA to your escrow company. That would be get one big check that comes to the escrow, comes to the brokerage. Any questions about that? All right, I think that was it for today. If you guys ever have any questions, stop by and we'll talk.
Last thing before I bring up Dustin. Thank you. Who of you has this like seller's checklist and buyer's checklist that they thoroughly go through written with their clients? Think we have that? Right, whole process. I know Elizabeth does, a few of us, right? We're gonna have classes come when the sellers and when the buyers. You guys need to attend those classes. Your checklist should not live here, right? It shouldn't live in your head. It needs to be written down and be branded to you, right? Going into those appointments, buyer consults and listing appointments, having everything, all bases covered, because like something like this is possession, right? When do we record, when we get the key, all that stuff. All of those things can be done before you guys are even in escrow. If you're doing things correctly, right? So we're gonna have those super staff with the sellers and with the buyers, and that's like teaming you up to have the best customer service in escrow. So your clients are sitting there going, well, now what? Well, now we covered everything beforehand before we even sign the listing agreement or we even sign the RFP. Just a heads up. So look out for those classes and give it up for Dustin. So a little bit today.
Right, because we can even like help with like transfer utilities, having a local utilities for your bunkers and good contact, things like that. That's sort of great. So last week, you guys, I was at the PD Par practice and a lot of you were there. I was speaking with a few other loan officers, but I noticed that the loan officers were talking about, and nothing bad, but it's common among all loan officers, talking about interest rates, talking about loan programs, and talking about and stuff specifically, which is all good, right? The more we get to know people, but what I think the most concerning is to organize around the things that you care about the most, and that is helping to close an escrow, right? Before we close an escrow, it's also to find clients that raise their hand that want to get pre-approved to purchase a house and walking them through all the concerns that they might have, not to do that, right? And so when you talk about loans, I want to assure you all, if you don't know, if you work with me directly, that I'm aware of the 3,608 different situations that clients can be in, and there could be more or less, and these things are kind of steady. But through council with them, we'll figure out what the best loan product is for them, and then also the best interest rates that they can make informed decisions that they can be financially confident. All in turn to help make sure that when they're with you for 10 hours on Sunday, you're spending time with a client that's informed, you know their price points. We have 100% close ratio once your client is at that point. That is a highly valued accomplishment for us in reflection of you and working as a lending partner. And so it got me thinking too on two other things that separate us from others, and one being the form of communication that we have. A lot of you don't know, as many of you do know, that there's 26 different touch points that we have with you as a purchasing agent. So when you do get an offer accepted, we will touch base with you 26 different times about what is happening with the buyers. We even touch bases with the listing agent 18 times. All so that we're not just focusing on this one transaction. Okay? It's not the answer we want. Right? Listen, 10 more. And so we help you do that to focus on the next thing. And then finally, a third thing I wanted to point out was bring up to you guys this morning is in front of you, there is I have a lot of questions from you guys about overcoming buyer objections, or we should say client concerns. The most popular one that I'm hearing with agents is they want to wait and see what happens. You guys, when someone says they want to wait and see what happens, to me, when I hear that, what I'm hearing is I'm scared and I have no idea what happened. That's really what they're saying. And so we should be asking into that. And if you're scared to do that, I will help you with that. And so one of the ways we might do that might be like, can I think that a little bit? No, there are bullet points on that LinkedIn about house prices are too high, interest rates are too high. And there's bullet points that are there for you to walk through and walk the client through being open to looking at the next step to complete their pre-approval. Even if they say that they don't want to buy a house for 6 to 9 months, everyone knows that once we pre-approve a buyer, how quickly do they usually find a house that want to make an offer? Month or two, or sometimes less, sometimes it's next weekend. No one's going to walk onto a car lot or talk with you about buying a house and say, yeah, I'll buy it. Or they might have a situation that's burdened. But the reality is that a lot of people are concerned, sure, is that they try to hold their cards tight to the vest. We're here to help build trust, disarm, and help them move forward with you as a team collectively. Again, so I hope that that landed is helpful. It's been really resourceful. A lot of great feedback from other leads. And any other way that I can be there for you and talking about other buyer instructions or even role playing with you, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you.
Right, thank you, Dustin, and we have Grant. Grant, come on up, you want to Grant with Ellie?
Hi, everybody.
Share it.
Thanks, Chuck. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I've done videos on that'll be kind of like tech oriented for people that are new. So I work with Fidelity National Title company that assists you in everything you might need. So it's like day-to-day interactions with clients, or it's setting up these really robust systems that allow you to do a lot of automation, email blasts, text campaigns, whatever it might be, and kind of assist you in that process. But first thing that I wanted to share today is something I did a video on recently. That's going to be NetSheets using our Fidelity 8.1 calculator. This is a great app. If you don't have it, it's really good for interacting with people at open houses, sitting down with clients, whatever it may be, but it's going to be a really handy app to have on you. And also at the same time, it's really nice. It creates a lot of really engaging material that you can send to people on the fly. So a couple of NetSheets that I wanted to show. I have a video on this, so later if you forget how this works, you can go to my YouTube channel and see that video itself. But it allows you to really easily put in a property address, sales price that you might think that that property is worth. And also at the same time, which is really nice, when you actually put in a property address, it's going to pull in the actual estimated loan balance and property taxes for that property. So obviously that NetSheet, the main thing to be aware of is the debt exists on that property to give an accurate estimate of what they're going to be paying from that. So you put it in this calculator really easily as you're working with somebody, hit compute. It's going to generate a net and close amount for you. But what's great about this app is every single calculator within here, and it's not just NetSheets, rent versus buy calculators, buyer monthly payment estimates, home equity line of credit calculators, so any calculator that you might need in your real estate life, the results can be made into a template with information on it really easily. So I have a calculator right here. All I have to do is hit share or print PDF. And it's going to turn it into a template that looks something like this. There's different template designs on the side as well that you can actually attach property photos on, so you can bring it to this presentation. And also what's really nice at the same time is these can be translated super quickly into different languages. So I can come here, choose English, come down to Korean. It's going to take this net sheet for me, throw it into Korean, same thing for Spanish, Chinese, any language that I might want to just to public books and translated for me. What's nice about the phone version of this app is you can share and text it straight from the app really easily, so you can send it off to people really quickly. Then the second calculator that's somewhat similar is a self-net calculator. So this might be a situation where you're sitting down with someone, they're really focused on needing like a net close. So maybe they have a big property, or they just have a nest egg that they really want to get from selling this property. What you can actually do is do that net sheet. All you have to do is focus on the net goal. So maybe you don't have a set price in mind, and then you have an idea. Maybe they're saying, okay, $800,000 is what we do, right? $800,000 for this upleg. We're trying to buy some land somewhere else. So all you have to do is put in that net goal amount. Same thing, put in the property address and bring it in the loan amount as well. And then from there, it's going to calculate what that minimum sales price is needed to get that net goal of $800,000. So that might be wiggle room in this situation. Maybe you're down with somebody, it's this price, the market price is $950,000. You go, okay, nice, we're kind of looking pretty good here. Or maybe if you're on the edge, kind of gives you the ability to go, okay, maybe we need to put some work in, trying to get you that net goal that you have in mind. So there's a video on that. You go to Grant Luna YouTube right here, and videos is one of the most recent videos right here that show you how to do that. And if you don't actually have that app downloaded, within that video description, there's a step-by-step walkthrough how to actually set up that app. And then soon it'll actually have Promenade escrow fees baked in there as well. So for those that are using Promenade escrow, every single one of your net sheets moving forward will have those fees baked into the calculator. And I will be releasing a video today. I release a video every Tuesday, showing you something that can help you in your business ideally. And I've been spending a lot of time with demand, and sometimes it's been frustrating. I know some people in here have been frustrated by demand as well, but I do think it's a system that over time has been getting better. It's just learning how the system works, how it can work with other systems that exist that we have at Fidelity to help you provide access to data, or get access to data, go to the systems that you have. And so the video that I'll release later today will show you how you can basically get a whole subset of homeowners, maybe in a particular neighborhood. How you can get their names, their addresses, their email addresses, throw them into color related demand. When you do so, it'll automatically tag a neighborhood for each of those contacts. So now you can have these automated email blasts going out to homeowners in any particular neighborhood that you want to start reaching out to for contacting. It's going to send them something that looks like this each month, and is automatically generated for you. So all you're doing is one-time import contacts, and then you have 500, 1,000, however many emails automatically going out for you each month with information like this, which is going to give you neighborhood stats. So what the listings are in that neighborhood. It's going to give them actual market stats, so what the average days on market is, the average home price, price per square foot. It's going to show them the listings here. They can scroll down and see Yelp restaurants, high schools, things like that. And this is stuff that you don't have to do literally anything to set up. So all it does is step-by-step process to get it in there. I show you all the things to be aware of, so you avoid all of the headaches that take place when working with command or these data systems that we have at Fidelity. So these are the things that I go over after classes I do. I know people are slowly but surely getting back to classes, but I think overall, these things are doing them consistently, easy to set up, and once you go to mechanics, you can start doing them for yourself. So I'll be right after the meeting today. If anyone wants to set up a time to kind of dial some of these things in for yourself, and whatever it may be, I'm sure Fidelity or probably Williams has a system for you. So thank you for the time.
All right, so a perfect segue into our next topic. We have Daniel come up and talk about some tech tips. With Scott. So take it away, Daniela. Welcome back.
Thank you. Okay, so how many of you guys wouldn't consider yourself tech savvy? No one? You guys all know how to use command? Well, if you don't feel like doing a few things that you can on your own in command, Scholar actually provides free services to you. So I wanted to show you a website to go to, where you can see all of their listed things where you guys can just submit a form and they will do it for free for you. They just ask for your username, password, And so if you scroll down, so there is a password when you go in, and it's our market center number 357. So it's very easy to remember. When you scroll down, you'll see they do command services, so they'll set up your command if you haven't already. They'll do your DocuSign setup. As you know, you get a free DocuSign account. They'll import your whole database. So if you have a database on an Excel sheet or on your phone, they'll ask for that and they'll do it for you. They'll set up smart plans for you, which is great. If you scroll down, they'll do a lot of other things as well. They'll update your profile, your biography. They'll even create a QR code for you. So they have lots of great tools that you only have to fill out a form and basically they'll do it for you. And I believe they're very quick. They're 24 hours or less. And here they can actually create your whole website for you. So if you wanted a landing page for your listing, if you wanted an open house sign sheet, if you wanted a page for local school search, mortgage calculator, like this kind of stuff takes up a lot of your guys' time, but submitting a form will take you 5 minutes or less. And it'll, yes. So the website is scottloremarketing.com. So scottloremarketing.com. And under agent resources, you'll go to agent support.
Probably the most underused tool
Yes.
with telework.
Yes, and since we've had Scottlore's, it's helped us with the onboarding process as our agent. We probably filled out a questionnaire. They basically did half of these things for you already, but our agents who didn't go through the Scottlore's process and haven't really gone to command and done those kinds of things, this is exactly what new agents go through. So you can just click on this button, and if I click on command setup, here's the questionnaire, and you just hit send, and you'll get an email basically letting you know when it's completed. So that is a really cool tool. It's free for you guys. It's always there. I know you guys love me, but sometimes it's a lot easier to just go through this process. And then you can focus on the weekend. So yeah, that is my tip.
Then we have.
And then
So
yeah.
Covering things that a TC does, right? Like the scope of a TC.
We want to
some confusion with that about what a TC is supposed to handle.
new agents, so we just want to touch on what a transaction coordinator does. So I am a TC and we have a great 5 TCs that will handle our agents files here. TCs are hired when you have an open transaction or listing. They facilitate the communication between agents, clients, and escrow. So they keep that going throughout the whole process. They keep track of contingency dates for you. And just so you know, every TC varies. So TCs might be more, TCs might be less. And it also depends on if you're licensed or not. I'm licensed, so I'm allowed to write addendums for you guys. Other TCs are not. So you just have to remember that. Please send documents for signatures. I've driven to clients to get signatures. We ensure all required documents are complete and compliant, and they're submitted by the necessary date. So another thing, upload to your KW command, or if it's an outside agent, we upload to their whatever transaction software they use. Just so you guys know, TCs are independent contractors. Unless you pay them a salary, technically you can't ask them when to work. So most TCs don't work weekends, and if they do, it just depends on the situation. And this is a big one, they're not personal assistants. So just remember that when you're asking the TC to do something, it's not just me. I know a couple of TCs go through the same thing as well. Just be very mindful. TCs charge per transaction, and most TCs do not charge if that escrow falls out. So for the new agents, this is someone who takes care of all the paperwork. The range is probably $375 to like $500 per transaction, and it's paid at the close of escrow.
Yeah, just to like, go back and like TC sometimes as agents, we're always looking for the easy button. Like, okay, I got the list, well, I don't want to submit anything less, that takes long, that's too much of a headache, whatever it is. The TCs have scope, they just say, they're using one thing over another TC, you need to set the expectation before you work with that. And by the way, it's the cheapest piece of leverage you can get in business, you're not using TC.
Actually, that it's hours of work that you guys can be like lead generating and just for very little,
Give me another thing.
yeah, do other things than paperwork's a lot when you want to do and sending DocuSigns.
But if you get to that point where you're starting to ask that, hey, you do this, that, you go to the store, you probably need to hire an assistant. Right? When you talk to me about anything like that, TC is just that, coordinating the transaction, not coordinating the life.
If it's a good thing, study that application up front.
Yeah.
For the TC that you're.
So thank you for clarifying that. Going back. What's your name again?
Lord, so are you on the, office, Facebook group, private group?
If you have Facebook, I'll probably wait for them.
Okay, so I just posted this everyone's name. Okay.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
Just post it right now, yeah. You can use more of those groups because it's visual, it's like accessible right away, it's not writing and.
Yeah.
It's what it's doing.
Thank you.
Add to that Facebook group. All right, so this is exciting. Benny was actually the inlet for this company into all codes. Zoom Casa, like I know you guys have heard, maybe some of the other companies that do like a concierge service, like a renovation, technically a loan, right? Interest-free loan. Help the clients get their property show ready, do little repairs, things like that. We talked about that in the past couple of years, and it became really popular. A few things that Zoom Casa does differently, they have multiple different programs. Where they know, click on the link real quick, but don't play the video yet. And scroll down for me to the resources. A little further, our solutions. So those 5 things, right? Typically, we've heard about this, right? Like instant cash out, right? So you go out and you go listen, and it's just unfinanceable, right? Like you're not going to get financing on it. You can go say, well, I have a cash offer in my back pocket, right? You can go, part of Zoom Casa, right? They go to send an appraiser, things like that. They'll offer what their deal is, right? At least have that in your tool belt. Pre-sale home prep and design is the most popular one, where they're going to come out and give you interest-free loan. They handle everything. They have designers, they have contractors. They also will work with your contractors to get the property up to show ready. And then obviously it's going to increase the return for the seller, right? So we've heard about that. And Zoom income is something that I'm not too familiar with yet. I'm not sure if many can touch on that, but the bridge loan is something that is more popular, which is just bridging the gap between buying and selling, right? So you don't have to write contingent offers and things like that. Now, Zoom for I'm getting to I think of like Zoom Zoom Casa has a program now with Forward that is something that I had never seen before in real estate. That was cool. You go I think you guys need to say, go to a house that needs same thing, like needs a ton of work, right? But the seller's in a position where they want to sell it and they want to buy something else, or for any other reason they need to act pretty quick, right? I can come in, which is what Zoom Casa comes in and says, hey, seller, we're gonna write you an instant cash offer right now, 70% of the actual value of the home, okay? So property's worth $1 million, and it's just a dump. We're gonna offer you $700,000 right now to put in your pocket. Go do what you need to do to buy a home on your up leg, whatever, not contingent, right? Now, Zoom Casa, they should have a program fee of 5 to 10%, depending on the scope of the work. But the seller gets that first check, right? Zoom Casa comes in and does their exact same thing with all their pre-sale home prep. So paints, minor renovations, major renovations, plumbing, electrical, all that stuff. They come in and do all those things, right? They list it with you, with the agent that got them involved in it, right? And they actually list the property renovated, okay? You make your commission, Zoom Casa makes the program fee, the seller gets a second check for the difference, less than you cost to prepare, less the commission, less the program. Right, which in California, this works because when you renovate a property and you, the ARV can be hundreds of thousands more. Right, so the seller's not just taking a discounted offer and walking away, the seller's taking a discounted offer now and still being part of the flip. Does that make sense? Which is, I never heard of something like this, which I thought was great. Many brought it to us, a couple weeks ago, many, can speak on it too, you can add to that. Maybe.
A few things, the biggest thing, so back in 2019, we're facing some competition from different companies about their concierge. The concierge goes back to the mid-60s, early 70s. So it's nothing new, it was, reinvented, if you may, successfully by the companies. So KW was, didn't have the same, services, what have you. So in 2019, I reached out to Fred Finn, who's the owner of Zoom Casa, originally such a remodeling entity, doing flips, modeling, whatever, highly successful in Northern California. They came down to Southern California and we teamed up. And basically, the concept is like what Zach was mentioning, but I just had the biggest two items that you can leverage, right away, and it's made a lot of agents very, very successful. Number one is just prepare the house for sale. So your seller needs to paint or mostly stage or change the front yard landscaping, maybe fix the roof, maybe change the roof, maybe add a bathroom and a bedroom because it will add to the house, etc. Everything from A to Z at $0 upfront. Right? Because the deal, Zoom Casa is like a vendor's being paid at those restaurants. So far, so good. Right? So easy as that. That's it. The best part that does give us a massive advantage from different companies is other companies, you or their agents, pretty much get caught in the middle, needing to manage the whole stick. They have to be there with the vendors and make sure it's done. Not the best solution is that reduces the time. So with us, there's a project manager for every specific property. They run the show from A to Z, right? It depends what the capacity is. But again, from the simple turning the carpet all the way up to remodeling. So that's the trend. Was that was mentioning before? Think about two aspects. In our agents, we have case studies, and this is not new to us, to our sister offices, but it's new more maybe to PV. We're going to bring the red Lori. She will give you the whole spiel because it's going to have a session because need to know about this and that to take advantage. But the threat is two hats. Number one, like you mentioned, I'm a homeowner. I need to sell before I can buy because I have to have the cash. They will hire an independent appraiser that will appraise the property, and they're going to give the homeowner up to 70% of the home equity upfront. So they go and do whatever they do, and they pretty much remodel the property. Now, it's not applied for people for like a turnkey home. There's no cushion on there that doesn't make any sense, right? That's what other programs that there's a LinkedIn, etc. I'm not going to go there. But if your client, if there's a room in the house, right, in the sense of like, there's not to be like a messy fixer up. It can be enough to buy and then add and then upsell plus 20%, 25%, whatever it is. I mean, they have accurate analysis, very, very smart guys, good for many years. Then at the back end, you're gonna list the property and sell it, and then at close, the seller gets the rest of that equity in the house, plus 50% of what's sold over. So it's like a JV. Second part of it, the same scenario, but and we have those kind of clients that they successful in offices. It's not about them needing to sell, right? Sorry, to buy. Those are just investors that leveraging this program, and they have amazing smart agents in our companies that are utilizing the Zoom concept to do the job. It's more affordable, less risk, and they just need to find the property and get those people in, get the money, get another property, and then get extra money for the back end. Don't have to worry about and of the job, and the headache, and the ability, and whatsoever. Yeah, it's a super successful program. I'm gonna bring the rest, so you can give you the whole bill, you can have access to it right away.
Perfect, yeah, thank you.
Sorry, yeah, question? Okay. Sure, yeah. So. Pass me on uploads.
So, yeah, I mean, well, like anybody said, any questions that come up, is, you know, there's a lot of detail that have to go into that, right? Who dictates ARB and all those things. That is, they have Brett will explain the details, and you guys don't use that. Point being, the reason why I'm bringing it up to this meeting is you guys come across an listing right now, where someone's like, hey, I don't have the money to pay, or I don't know how to contingent offer with matters in the market, you guys have an option. So if you need to use it now, before we get it rep, and come talk to me, and then we'll help you guys get in touch with the services and everything they have, their own people. I will come out to the property with you, and like I said, it's not a property matter and so forth. So, cool, all right, Red Day. You're here?
Yeah. Okay, so Red Day for our new agents especially, every year, every single PW in the nation takes a day off of work, and we give back to the community, and that's called Red Day, and it's every May 11th, which is Mo Anderson's birthday, who is the CEO.
She was.
Yeah. So this year and everyone is welcome to come volunteer. We are, KW South Bay and KWPV have put together, I guess you could call it a day of service, giving back to young adults with special needs. And what we do is put together foods and tables for fun activities for them to do for the day. Unfortunately, t-shirts, it's too late to order t-shirts, but if you have anything red in your closet, please wear that and volunteer. It will be at Wilson Park next Thursday. 9 AM it starts. You can get there a little early if you want to help set up. And it's basically until 2 PM. So Andy's Termites provides barbecue. We help pass out food. You also get that as well. And it's just a really, really fun day. It's so heartwarming. Every young adult there just has the time of their life, and we highly encourage you to make it. The house will be closed, so if you can, please try and make it, you know, right down the street. Yeah.
And, yeah, so there's a little bit of the history. Calvin's been doing this for a very long time, started by Mo, decades, right? And it makes a huge impact, like every office. This year is going to be really special, because we're doing more offices too. We've done it in the past, but, you know, they're officially our sister offices now, so, a chance for everyone to network with those agents, and then also, be a part of giving back, things like that. It really is supposed to be a time to be homework. This is like our one day of the year that we just have, you know, drop the laptops, drop the one day, and go get back and socialize time with your colleagues. So.
All right, I forgot to, if you aren't able to make it that day, and you still want to help out or give back, we are accepting donations, just purchase kind of like the stuff that we will need, like stuff like paper towels, snacks, drinks, even like coffees for the bird. I mean, we have done quite a good amount of donations, but if we feel like we need more about that, okay, so you still want to help out in some sort of way, any type of donation helps.
Yes, thank you. And it's one big dance party. These young girls I can get after the dance. All right, so please participate in that and upcoming event. Next slide. All right, you guys, our Ignite series. Okay, so this is starting May 10th. It's going to be next Wednesday, so the day before Red Day. We're going to do it from 10 to 12, and they're going to be led by different instructors. Okay, I'm leading the first one, which is sections 1 and 2. The difference in this Ignite is it's now, as you guys know, the Ignite has been pre-built like 4 or 5 times, right? In order to stay up at the time, you know, social media and do things that we're doing as agents. So Ignite agents are 138% more likely to have transactions than non-Ignite agents. That's a pretty fun stat, right? And it's the first course that I ever took that built my whole foundation as a realtor. And I just was so green. I just went in, took completely open-minded and did what it said. And I sold more. It's supposed to issue 12 units a year, right? More than 12 units my first 12 months, right? So if you can attend this, whether you're seasoned and you think that you don't need it, it's okay, right? I would still come just to get a refresher. Like we're in a market of basics right now. Basics work. getting back to the foundational stuff, hard work afterwards. So everything from your scripting to learning how to articulate a listing presentation and present a listing presentation, all those things are all in that. And the cool part about this is you'll hear from instructors that are actively going on them. Not just myself, but other people, other agents here that are able to build in their own experience on all of it, okay? So May 10th, especially for you people in the room, is perfect time to get everyone, okay? So very cool. That's going to be 10 to 12 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 12. So it is an intense course. Try to attend as much as you can. And we talked about in the beginning of the meeting showing up. This isn't a course that you want to float in and out of. It's not a come into this one and come into that one without help with this. It's start to finish. So if you miss one, please let us know. But we want to have the same group that's starting and graduating in the end. I think we're going to go until mid-April. Okay, Producers Club, right? How many of you guys know about this Producers Club? Nobody? But I'm talking about. Many has organized a Producers Club every, it's not, is it every Friday? Many, or just every day?
This is what the mindset is every day, 8 to 8:30 on the Zoom. Since 2020. Well, since 2014, we became Zoom since 2020. And then every Friday, we decide to have a different producer in the industry. Resi, residential and commercial. I happen to interview Stellis, he's a commercial beast. So in 30 minutes, we're just gonna hang out virtually about his career, his path, what he has going on right now. You know, this guy is a mega agent, commercial specifically. Join to listen in and learn from other people how their career path took him to where they are today.
Yeah, and the producer's mindset is really good, guys. It's always different people that are running it, right? So for that extra boost in the morning, just hop on that. If you're driving anywhere, hop on that. Here's some nuggets to get going. The idea is community, right? Put yourself in the community of people that are doing the activities. You'll be there too. All right, Jeff's still doing broker trainings, 1:30 to 2:30 on Wednesday. Thursday, right? He switched it Tuesdays. Tuesdays 1 to 2:30. And we have Dustin, May 16th at 1 to 2, 6-month forecast, loan types and rates. So Dustin will probably end up doing kind of a lot more than just that, but kind of making practical to your business and flip flyers. So thanks, Dustin, for putting that on and be there May 16th, 1 p.m. Next slide, early bird. All right. Pretty looks on time. Let's see. Anybody get a card today? What's the number? All right, here we go. Another good card. Another choice. One feels good. James on the ballot, 22, letting me in. All right. On tour today. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. And have a great Tuesday.